Horse, King of the Nutshot. This is They Call Me Nasty vlog, the CSF Leak edition. I'm doing a daily vlog in my recovery to spread awareness and keep myself busy while I'm recovering from a leak in my spine that the doctors down at Duke University just patched up about a week and a half ago. So, an update on my recovery. I got a call from Dr. Kranz down in Duke, North Carolina, and we spoke on the phone today, and he asked me a couple questions, and I kind of went over with him a bunch of questions I had about my recovery, just kind of verifying things. I'm not going to get into too much detail because over the weekend my goal is to go get one of those like gigantic calendars, just like they do in like movies or TV. I'm gonna have like a circle around a date, and that's gonna be my first like a nut shot that I can do coming back from my recovery, as long as there's no like relapses or anything, and like do the classic like X off the days and have like milestones and like kind of mini goals and kind of go from there. So my first like I don't know, milestone in my recovery has been a week in recovery. It's actually been like a week and a half, and for the first month I'm not able to lift more than 5 pounds. So if you've watched my videos before, I usually do my talking vlog stuff down in my office with like my horse stuff in the background, and I literally can't pick up my tripod and take it downstairs because it's more than 5 pounds, so I'm kind of stuck dragging it around in my living room and setting up my upstairs computer. Also, to give you an update today, and it's actually kind of like freaked me out a little bit, or at least made me a little bit worried. So I woke up, well, I've had insomnia, so like I didn't go to sleep last night until about like 7 in the morning, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I finally just like chugged some NyQuil and got about like 5 hours of sleep, but not until 7:30 in the morning is I think when I finally fell asleep. And I woke up with like a huge neck ache on my left side, which is kind of concerning because that's been a big kind of thermometer for me of telling where my level of discomfort is and how kind of the day was going to play out with my symptoms from having the CSF leak. It always hurt my neck on the left side. It would get progressively worse during the day. Now the one thing that I mean, it's just it's a really crappy day out today, just rain, real yucky day all day. So I guess the weather makes it worse. Kind of not sure if that's a bad thing or a good thing or an indifferent, something that I'll probably have to bring up with the doc next time I talk to him. But today I'm going to do a Q&A. So I asked you guys yesterday to leave some comments on Instagram and on Twitter and on YouTube, and I got some responses that I'm actually pretty excited about because they cover kind of a variety of different topics from my recovery to my personal life to fun stuff, and then my nuts because of my nut shots. So it's kind of like a wide variety of questions here, so I wanted to answer them for you guys. I really appreciate you reaching out, and if you have more questions and you're watching this video or my previous video and you're asking questions, I'll try to answer you back online, and I also can respond and do Q&As every once in a while as I go on my journey here to recover. So let me go through these questions real quick. I'm going to start out on Twitter. Chase's Fish, he had actually a couple questions. So the first question was, how did you get a CS leak and how long did it take to recover? That's a two-part question. I really do not know how I got my CSF leak. It could have been from one of my stunts. Because of the timing of when I started having symptoms, I either got it when I got my wisdom teeth out, or I think if I had to like put my money on it, I was training for American Ninja Warrior, and I think when I got my wisdom teeth out, I was on like just medicine, and I was supposed to rest for like 2 or 3 days before getting back to physical activity, and I jumped right back because I didn't want to miss, like I wanted to minimize the days missing training, because like in a month I had to go and compete on Ninja Warrior, so I was doing like 1 to 2 hours of workouts a day, and I just jumped right back in it, and ever since then I've always had the issue. So I think I just overdid it. People, it can happen spontaneously. People can get it from sneezing and bending over and doing any activity, especially if it has to do with bending and twisting and impact. So I'm just so rough on my body. There's just, maybe my stunts made my spine weak in that area, and the leak happened that way. But at this point I don't think there's any way to tell. And then recovery wise, like I'm a week and a half into my recovery, and it's supposed to take about 6 months, and that's if there's no relapses or any issues, and that's kind of what this vlog's all about, is seeing what it takes to get me healthy again, and how long it takes, and if there's any problems or if there's any relapses, kind of like what the process is going through that. You also asked how many doctors did you go through before the leak diagnosis. What was the breakthrough? And I actually went through, I did tons and tons of tests in 2012, and went to like my family doctor, then neurologist, and an ENT, a couple blood patches, because we kind of thought that it was a CSF leak because of the symptoms. They like put these crazy things up in my nose to check if I was leaking out my nose, and that test failed, and actually they wanted me to do it again, so I did that again. It was like the most painful thing that I ever went through, actually. Uncomfortable thing that I ever went through. The contrast, they shot the contrast in my contrast dye into my spine in 2012 too, and did tons of MRIs and CT scans, and just really weren't able to find anything back then, although they weren't specialists kind of trained to look for this type of thing. So it wasn't until about 2 months ago when they took a look at my 2 MRIs, my one from 2012 and my new one from 2017, and they realized there was like a shift, and my brain was actually sagging in my head, and that's when there was some real evidence that it was a CSF leak. And it wasn't until I actually went down there and they put the contrast dye in and looked, and were actually able to spot my leak, until we like 100% knew that that was the case. And they told me over and over again too, like, you can get these tests done, and like a high percentage of patients don't show any symptoms, even though they actually have a CSF leak, and it's really hard to diagnose. So if you're going through these tests and nothing is coming up, I say the symptoms are there for a CSF leak. I wouldn't just stop looking after like 1 or 2 tests. I'd get second opinions, or I would contact the professionals down at Duke University, and really just don't give up on trying to figure out what's wrong. Next we're going to go to Instagram. Oh gosh. Luca said, thoughts on the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and what film are you anticipating the most? Guardians of the Galaxy, if you don't know, is my favorite movie of all time. Me and my wife actually had a Guardians of the Galaxy themed wedding, and I just absolutely love everything about that movie. The second movie, I really enjoyed. It's kind of like one of those things. It literally happens right after the first movie, so I consider it like more like the next chapter in the book, rather than a solo movie on its own. So I kind of like categorize them together, and I just think they're just both awesome. Probably most anticipated, most excited about is probably Star Wars Episode 8, just because there's so much unknown there. There's just like, nobody really knows what's going to happen. It's like a whole new story that hasn't been told before, and a lot of mystery, and it's really not that far away now. So we'll probably be getting some trailers soon, or a new trailer soon, and I'm super stoked for that. Back over to YouTube, and I had a ton of YouTube comments. Some are questions, some are just kind of like statements. Veronica Hernandez says, I suffered a leak back in October or so from a large growth puncturing my dura. I had fusion surgery in January, and then the day after it leaked again. They inserted a lumbar drain and thought it sealed after 2 days in the ICU. The day I went home, my neck blew up. Again, large rupture, so back to the hospital to redo fusion and seal a leak. Did your doctor tell you how long the recovery could be and high pressure would last? I still have vertigo, migraines, pain, although being fused from the C4 to C7 isn't helping. Thanks and best wishes for your recovery. Holy hell, that is so much worse than what kind of I've had to go through so far, and I just want to say, like, best of luck. Me personally, like, my high pressure headaches after my patch only lasted a few days. They were so bad the night of the patch that I actually had to go back to the ER and spend the night in the ER, which I've never been to the ER before. But that'll be a whole story for a different time. But a few days after, I was able to kind of like stabilize my high pressure until now. It's like a week and a half later, and I'm not really having any pressure at all. Mark York says, keep your head up. Had no clue it was that bad. Stunts don't make you who you are. Long road made short if taken one day at a time. Glad to see you back. So Mark York has been watching my vlogs and videos for a while now. That means a lot to me. You know, I love doing stunts, but I kind of just love living life in general. And he's one of those guys that has watched kind of my journey even before my recovery and kind of like gave me motivation to keep going. And I wanted to say thank you, Mark, for your kind words of wisdom. Dumbass Duo, I love your videos and your intro is perfect. You should also do some kind of giveaway. Definitely will do that down the line. I had a couple people commenting about the intro because I asked your opinion about it. Somebody said, Zachary said that the intro is way too long, not even a full hour TV shows use such a long intro, shrink it down to like 6 seconds, which 6 seconds, like I could flash my logo up, but 6 seconds isn't going to work for that concept. The concept is my daughters are skipping and trying not to step on cracks, and they start stepping on cracks, and then it shows my stunts breaking my back. So I'd ideally like it to get down to like 30 seconds. That's my goal. And right now it's like 56 seconds or so with the logo at the end. So if I could get that down to like 30 seconds, which I might, if I have time today, I might even do like before this video to make it a little quicker. And that way I can actually change out stunts from time to time. So I'll cut some stunts out and I can use different stunts, kind of like maybe change it up every month, something like that. Privacy 13 says, how much weight have you gained in the last little bit, and once you're over your recovery time, how long do you think it's going to take you to get back in shape? So I've actually gained, because I haven't really been able to do like full workouts in about 6 months now. I've gained probably about 15 pounds, I'd say, roughly, and I'm probably about like 25 pounds away from where I'd like to be. And part of that is because I'm not burning enough calories and I just could do better with my diet. But I have been trying, and I kind of kicked in my diet this last week like crazy, because I truly believe like if you eat better, your body works better and you heal better. And so I'm going to try to get to the point where I'm losing weight from what I eat, and then I can start running or working myself up to running after a month of recovery. So my goal is to, by the time I get to the 6 month period where I'm supposed to be able to get kind of back to doing things, to already be back down 15 or so pounds. and then I can really start lifting and doing my push-up and pull-up routines and mixing them with cardio and really get strong again, and but still gain that muscle and still probably drop another 5 or 10 pounds after that. But that's something that's important to me, and it's definitely a struggle for me right now that I'm not able to work out. And by the time this is all hopefully said and done, it'll be about a year since I've had like a real solid, steady workout schedule. Baby Wolf says, hi. Hi, I was wondering what you mean the girls went to their mom's house, because you two are awesome and I don't want you to be lonely. So I said in my vlog yesterday, the girls were, I was saying goodbye to the girls. My wife is not my girls' mom. She's their stepmom, and I have a baby's mama, and so the girls go to her house a few nights a week. So nothing wrong with me and my wife. She's here right now, waiting for me to finish up this video, and we're awesome. So I'm not lonely. You don't have to worry about me being lonely, Baby Wolf. I appreciate your concern, though. Mega Ultra Chicken. I guess so I get really excited when I do these videos, and I really can't yell because it puts pressure on my head. I live the intro and the tour, or I love the intro and the tour channel. I wish you the best of luck with your recovery. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Hey, Horse, how do you earn a living both before the leak and after? Best regards from Denmark. So, yo, what's up, Denmark? So I make a living. I still make a living from my stunts. So I sell clips that I shoot stunts and I sell clips to like TV shows. Usually like clip-based shows like Ridiculousness, like Top 20 Dumbest, like all those type of TV shows. Even like late night shows have bought clips. I've sold clips to UK and Japan and Australia, all over the place. So the cool thing about that is a lot of the clips I sell, maybe I shot like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you know, or last week. They're archive clips, and I can sell them non-exclusively, and I sell them over and over again. I run a parkour freerunning ninja program at my local gymnastics gym, Artistic Sports Academy Plus, and I run we call it urban gymnastics, but I teach those things, and I have about 70 kids in my program. I teach classes a few nights a week part-time, and that's been a really awesome part of my life because I love doing flips. I love being active, and it's part of the reason why right now it's so tough. And to give back to these kids and to teach them something that I'm so passionate about and I've loved and I've been doing for so long, and now that it's actually becoming like sports and kind of this like really big thing. At least it's, you know, parkour and freerunning is like the most watched action sport on the internet right now, and Ninja Warrior's blowing up like crazy. So it's really cool to be able to go in and stay active and teach these kids. So for the next little bit, I'm gonna have to do that verbally, but that's something that I can see myself doing way past the point that I'm possibly doing stunts, at least for like TV and internet. At some point, my body's going to shut down. I'm not going to be able to do it like I used to. I'm going to do it as long as I can because it's just who I am. But teaching and doing parkour and freerunning and ninja stuff that's a long-term plan for me. My arm here is all black and blue from an IV, which actually now that I'm thinking about was from the ER, not the actual procedure. But what they do during the blood patch is they hook an IV into your arm and they actually take your own blood and they inject it into your spine in the area where the CSF leak is, hoping that the blood will actually create like a blood clot and help heal up your CSF leak. So they actually took a bunch of my blood and they mixed it with this like adhesive fiber stuff that's way beyond my knowledge, but they use this like kind of they use this kind of like glue that has like the same enzymes as your blood, and they kind of shot in the glue and they shot in my blood, and the blood like kind of disperses throughout your back, and the glue kind of helps keep it in like a compact area. So like I watched them, and they showed me pictures of them like actually going in and kind of patching the whole area where I was having the CSF leak. It's pretty crazy when you think about it. But that's all the questions I have loaded up on my computer here. And if I missed your question, I apologize, and I will respond back to you on YouTube. If you have more questions, feel free on any of my videos to ask, and I'll try to get back to you. And I'll, especially if they're really good questions, I'll save them and do them on the next Q&A, whenever that is. Because I love to hear from you guys, and I'd like you to know that I am reading all the comments, and a lot of them mean a lot to me, and it's great to connect with you guys and really get personal beyond you guys just watching the video and going back and forth. And I really think it helps me think things through. It helps me spread the awareness and help me maybe think of things that I wasn't thinking of before, that you know, people might want to know, or people need to know, or or want to know, or they're going through something similar and they want to know what to expect, or they want to or they want to relate to what I've gone through or what I think I'm going to go through. So I appreciate all the questions. I'm going to go get some sleep. Like I said, I'll be checking out. The goal moving forward is that I'm going to release a vlog Monday through Friday every week. And if that changes, I'll let you know. That gives me a little bit of rest. I got to get some video work done that I haven't been able to do because I like just sitting on the computer for the last couple of months has really been hell, because I get positional headaches when I'm sitting up, and I get motion sickness on the computer, and I'd be exhausted. So I have more energy now than I did before, which is exciting. But this vlog takes up a lot of time too, so I'm going to take Friday and Saturday to kind of like catch up on all the other things I need to do, and then I'll start filming again Sunday and have videos throughout the week. So very excited about the recovery, very optimistic about this future, about my recovery, and spreading this awareness on CSF leaks. Again, if you know anybody that has been having headaches, especially when they stand up or sit up, and maybe goes away when they lay down, and you're hearing them talk about it and they're suffering, like, please send them the direction of these videos, or please send them to spinalcsfleak.org to get information, and I'll do my best to point them in the right direction. And I want to make sure anybody out there that's suffering at least has a shot to get healthy again. Thank you very much for watching. Stay nasty, and I will catch you guys on Monday. Peace. The horse!